Welcome back to another episode of The Rundown, driven by Nissan, innovation that excites. Swimming and diving. The women's team was at the ACC Championships over the weekend in Greensboro. The team was led by sophomore Claudia Nozbala and senior Veronica Palushek, who earned a silver and bronze medal during the meet. And overall, the Hokies finished in fifth. The ACC Championship for the men starts on Wednesday. The baseball team kicked off its season over the weekend, 3 games at the Citadel. Tech lost the first 2, but on Sunday, the Bats showed up big, a 12-0 win. Tech has a midweek game against East Tennessee State and then heads to Norfolk, games against Delaware, ODU, and Manhattan. The softball team was back in Florida this weekend at the ACC Big Ten Challenge. The team dropped a pair of games to 2 top 25 opponents on Saturday, number 2 Michigan and number 18 Minnesota. Then first baseman Elizabeth Burley rocketed a home run to lead the Hokies on offense, despite Tech losing to number 2 Michigan on Sunday morning. The Hokies head to Spartanburg, South Carolina next weekend to play Morehead State, Ohio, and USC Upstate. Tech lacrosse fell on the road to James Madison on Thursday, but the Hokies bounced back on Sunday against High Point. Trailing by 5 goals in the second half, Tech forced overtime. And then just 1 minute into OT, Megan Macera scored the game-winning goal. 14-13 final. Tech heads to Radford on Wednesday. It's a 4 p.m. start. The 5th-ranked wrestling team closed out its dual meet season by beating 8th-ranked Michigan 24-21 on Sunday. Joey Dance, Nick Bruschetta, Zach Epperly, and others all won their matches. The Hokies head to Charlottesville on March 6th for the ACC Championships. On Saturday in Rector Fieldhouse, the Tech track and field team wrapped up the Virginia Tech Challenge with a handful of top 2 finishes in the relays. Hannah Green, Katie Kennedy, Connor Atkinson, and Brett Musselman, among others, recorded top times in their events. The team heads to Boston next weekend for the ACC Championship meet. Women's tennis improved to 7-3 on the season after a good weekend taking down number 29 Rice and number 74 Marshall in Huntington, West Virginia. The Hokies have won 5 straight matches and haven't recorded a loss since falling to Clemson back in January. The Hokies continue ACC play this weekend with 2 big conference matches against Pittsburgh and Boston College right here in Blacksburg. Men's basketball lost 65-49 at Miami Wednesday night. Justin Robinson led the Hokies with 12 points. On Saturday in Castle, Seth Allen scored 23 points as Tech beat Florida State 83-73. The Hokies moved to 14-13 overall, 6-8 in the ACC. Up next, Tuesday at Boston College. Women's basketball had 2 games this week. First, the ladies were home against Duke and had a close game throughout. Sydney Cook led the team with 20 points, but Duke was able to grab the win 66-62. Next, the team found itself in another battle on Sunday. Tech forced Miami to overtime when guard Shanette Hicks hit a layup with 2 seconds left in the game, but the Hurricanes held on in overtime, 67-56 the final. Tech is at Wake Forest on Thursday and then home for Senior Day against UVA on Sunday. Thanks for clicking and tune in next week for another episode of The Rundown, driven by Nissan.